Welcome to the mayhem, my fellow cannabians. I am Weeder McGrowin, and this is 420 News, brought to you exclusively on US Weed Channel and USWC Rocks Radio. You won't believe our top stories tonight. In our first story, Senate candidates are having a bit of a cannabis clash. Yes, while most of us are trying to figure out the right strain, they're busy debating the green scene. This clash is less about bouquets and more about votes, with everyone trying to puff up their positions ahead of the next election. One candidate's gone full legalize and strategize, while the other seems to want to roll with a more conservative joint approach. It's a classic tale of grassroots versus just mow it down, isn't it? Watching these politicians discuss weed is like watching cats discuss water. They're both fascinated and utterly confused. I'm just hoping they realize that cannabis policy is less about politics and more about people. Stay tuned, my herbal enthusiasts, to see which candidate's message will resonate more with the budding electorate, because nothing says "vote for me" like a well-articulated plan for pot reform. Ah, New South Wales, where the kangaroos leap and the legal reforms creep. The latest proposal tries to answer the question, can you drive after taking medical cannabis? It's a conversation that's been rolling slower than a turtle smoking indica. The idea here is to allow patients on medical cannabis to legally drive, provided they're not impaired, of course. A bit like saying you can skydive with a parachute, as long as it opens. However, the naysayers worry about potential misuse. Well, honestly, if misuse were the standard, we wouldn't even have cars in the first place. The proposal demands a more nuanced approach, looking at individual impairment rather than just THC presence. That's right, no more judging a book by its cover, unless that cover is entirely baked. It's about time the law caught up with the leaf, don't you think? Stay tuned to Man of Many for updates. It's a new chapter for the cannabis crusade in Oz, one kangaroo hop at a time. It seems some dentists in Thailand have been putting down the toothbrush and picking up the legal pad, facing action for pre-signing cannabis prescriptions. Did someone forget to floss in the legalities there? Now, pre-signing anything is like leaving the door open for mischief, but with cannabis? That's a whole new level of open wide. Perhaps they thought they were giving a new meaning to high-wiring patients. While the legal eagles have descended upon them, one must wonder, are they aiming for a root canal or just the root of all problems? Let's hope they can bite off only what they can chew moving forward. Oh, Pittsburgh, known for its steel but also a newfound love for greenery. The Pittsburgh Cannabis Fest is taking place, and believe it or not, it's not just about the herb. Apparently there are non-weed activities too. Imagine that, a cannabis festival without the cannabis. It's like holding a take-your-kid-to-work day and forgetting the offspring. The event's showcasing art, music, and food, making it a veritable amusement park for the senses. And just in case you thought Pennsylvania was pure steel and football, they've got hemp-based crafts and yoga too. Because of course nothing screams Rust Belt like Downward Dog. Although some might say focusing on non-cannabis elements at a weed festival is a bit like selling a bicycle to a fish, it's a brilliant ploy to showcase the diversity of the cannabis culture. Who knew plant-based fun could be so multi-leaved? That's multi-layered. So whether you're there for the CBD crafts or the THC thrills, Pittsburgh has you covered. And rest assured folks, the only thing rolling faster than these joints is the Allegheny River. Well, puffers, it seems IM Cannabis is offloading IMC Holdings and their European-focused assets quicker than you can say Eurozone. They're selling up and moving on, like a college student who suddenly decides their major in competitive basket weaving might not be the best career path. The move is part of their grand plan to focus on other ventures, which, let's be honest, probably means they're desperately trying to find a market where people actually buy their products. IM Cannabis says it's all about streamlining and focusing on more profitable segments. Sort of like decluttering, but instead of dumping your ex's old records, you're selling multi-million-dollar assets. Now, let's see if this turns out to be a high-flying success or just another weed dream blown away in a puff of smoke. Only time, and perhaps a serious amount of meditation, will tell. Stay tuned for more corporately puzzling moves. In a plot thicker than a mystery novel and with far fewer smoking guns, the battle over marijuana rescheduling faces a key deadline this Monday. Some folks in high places, though probably not as lit as our audience, are deciding if cannabis will be shifted to a more lenient schedule. Will it move out of its current position alongside substances like heroin and into a less vilified category, or remain the rebellious herb it's always been? It seems the only thing higher than everyone's hopes here is the amount of paperwork involved. But really, shouldn't the government's snail-paced process have been rescheduled ages ago? Stay tuned, because as our leafy dream continues to blaze, we might find ourselves puffing in more places than the basement. Now that would be a token piece of news. Good evening, my discerning dope devotees. Let's dive into the delightful dysfunction of federal marijuana policy. The Trump administration's attempt to flick the rescheduling shortcut has hit a rather sticky patch. Digital Journal reports that federal challenges are putting this expedient endeavor at risk. It's like trying to drive a Ferrari through quicksand. Fancy intentions, terrible execution. You see, the push to slide cannabis into a less restricted category was supposed to be the government's way of saying, "We're cool now." Alas, it turns out Uncle Sam's a bit more uptight than expected. From legal loopholes to bureaucratic boulders, they're hitting every speed bump on Reefer Road. The real kicker? The so-called shortcut is anything but. It's more like finding a shortcut through a labyrinth filled with red tape. Looking on the bright side, they're finally paying attention, even if it feels like they're trying to teach an elephant to bunny hop. Patience, my friends, as we wait for them to hash out these high stakes. After all, change must start somewhere, even if that somewhere is a rather precarious puffery of policy. In a classic case of legal buzzkill, a judge in Virginia has denied hemp companies' attempt to overturn new regulatory changes. Apparently, even hemp can't budge a court these days. This comes as a significant blow to businesses hoping to expand their product lines, but fear not, they can still perfect the art of patience. These regulatory changes are tighter than the average drum circle, leaving hemp companies tangled up in a mess of red tape rather than rolling in green profits. The courts clearly believe they're taking a puff out of the wild, wild west of hemp law. But hey, in the meantime, you can still find your groove on usweedchannel.com, where the only thing sharper than a legal verdict is our streaming quality. Remember, friends, bureaucracy is like a contact high, neither truly enjoyable nor entirely avoidable. In a move that's sure to put a little more green in the Union Jack, a new UK route for medical cannabis patients has emerged through none other than Life, ensuring less lag in getting a prescription. Now, folks have a new way to obtain medical cannabis without feeling like they have to navigate a maze even David Attenborough couldn't describe. This initiative is a game changer for patients who were previously at the mercy of labyrinthine procedures and red tape thicker than a book on British politeness. The cynics among us might say it's about time something was set in motion to get things rolling a bit more efficiently, or should I say, to stop the wheels from going up in smoke. Remember, when it comes to medical progress, it's high time Britain took the high road. Hold on to your hats, or should I say berets. As US weed crosses the Atlantic, the European scene is caught with its lederhosen down. Yes, our beloved Mary Jane is making headway in Europe, but it seems the continent is more than a bit underbaked in readiness. Maybe it's time to start thinking of the Eurozone as the euphoria zone. Now, while the French may have their wines and the Germans their beers, the American cannabis is sending shockwaves across Europe. And let's face it, this cultural invasion is bound to be a bit more mellow than the last one we pulled. But hey Europe, if you need some tips, try keeping calm and pass the spliff. Will Europe embrace the green wave, or will they remain as stiff as a well-starched cravat? Only time will tell, but given the US's influence, it's probably high time they start prepping. Before they know it, soccer might not be the only thing with fans going absolutely bonkers. Those are your updates today, my puffers and puffettes. Try not to get caught up in the madness. Stay grounded and lifted and be good humans. Remember to support all things US. Weed Channel as we create a voice for Canadians worldwide. Like, love, share, and definitely get the app. This is Weeder McGrowin with 420 News on US Weed Channel. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow.